Good morning if you're watching at home, if you're watching on YouTube. Hello, and Daniel Khan as well. Good morning to you all. And we're going to start with a line just reaching us from Nottingham Forest on Good Morning Transfers. Dan, what can you tell us?
Yeah, very interesting news from Forest, Dave. Andrew Amorim, the centre-back from Forest, has just joined French side Strasbourg on loan until the end of the season. The French side led by Liam Rosine are doing pretty well this season, mid-table. They also have an option to make it permanent at the end of the season. Amorim has just made one appearance for Nuno Espirito Santo's side this season. That came in the Carabao Cup against Newcastle. Forest are pretty well stocked at centre-back with the likes of Willy Bolly, Morato, so it makes sense for all parties.
An outgoing then at Nottingham Forest this morning on Good Morning Transfers. Let's move on then and talk about the intriguing situation surrounding Alejandro Garnacho. The Manchester United head coach Ruben Amorim addressed the winger's future, who is the subject of continued interest from Chelsea in this window. Garnacho played the full 90 minutes of United's late 2-1 win over Rangers in the Europa League last night.
He's here. This player for Manchester United was really important for us today. Let's see the next days.
How close is he to getting back to his best, and how important is he to this team?
I think he's improving in every aspect of the game. He was better today playing inside, also outside, changing positions. He's improving the recovering position. You can see it until 90 minutes, always there, recovering and helping. And sometimes showing some frustration, and that is really good because he wants more. I think he has potential to be so much better in every situation of the game. So what I can say is that he understood what I was trying to do and was really clear. I just want to help them, and but in the end it's them that do the job.
So a full 90-minute performance from Alejandro Garnacho last night. Was it a performance down of a player who he was staying or leaving Manchester United?
Very difficult to know for sure. He was applauding the fans of the Stretford end at the end. But I think what that performance did show is what we know about Alejandro Garnacho. I mean, he was definitely one of Manchester United's better players last night. But what I mean about what we know of Garnacho is he showed glimpses of absolute kind of electric ability, taking on the fullbacks, creating opportunities. But he also has that somewhat lack of a finishing product as well. He had a few really good opportunities, wasn't able to take them. And, you know, we know Manchester United are lowering their demands with Napoli in their negotiations for him. So it does seem they're open to potentially selling him in this window. But for me, I've said it all morning with all of you that I do think with Garnacho, though, and I said we saw it last night, he is, I really do think his potential is superstar potential. Perhaps he doesn't fit in Ruben Amorim's system, but I think from a United fan perspective, it would be a huge shame to see him join the club at 16, made his debut at 18, leave the club at just 20 years old.
Yeah. Did the game last night and the performance from United as a team overall highlight the need for United to be moving on from certain players or to keep certain players in order to start building around them?
I don't know how much we can read into the performance last night. Like Dan touched on, he created some opportunities. He probably should have scored a goal, hit the post from close range. But Garnacho is a player, I think there's a multitude of factors when it comes to his future at Manchester United. Firstly, does he fit into Ruben Amorim's system? He obviously plays with wing-backs. I don't think Garnacho's that, and I don't think he's a number 10 behind the striker either. And also what it represents when it comes to PSR. Garnacho, if Man United were to recoup, say, 60 million, it may allow them to spend up to 180 million in the transfer market and alleviate a lot of their PSR issues. But Amorim talked there about how he's frustrated and that how Garnacho wants to play more football, and you can understand that. Last year as a teenager, he played 36 games in the league for Manchester United, started 30 of those games, contributed heavily in their bid to win the FA Cup, scored in the FA Cup final as well. He's a player that's obviously very, very talented. If we live in a world where PSR doesn't exist, I don't think Manchester United will entertain selling the Garnacho because he has got such incredible potential. But he's a player that clearly wants to reach the heights and wants to play regular football. And I don't know if that works currently with how Amorim wants to play football in terms of those wing-backs and those number 10s behind the striker. But there's no doubt he's an incredibly talented player that I think, given the right opportunity and the right club to flourish, can go right to the very top.
I agree, I have to say, with both Kweku and Daniel. I think the potential that Garnacho has is absolutely huge. I do think it'll be a decision that United will regret in the future. He could have a long-term future at that club, there's no doubt about it, but as Quaker said, PSR has a huge bearing, and if Patrick Dorgu, for example, is a player that they want to bring in, they have to offload, but to leave a homegrown talent go, I know it's 100% profit because of that very nature, but it just seems like a huge, huge miss for Manchester United.
I'm interested in the Chelsea perspective on this as well. Are they waiting to pounce? Are they waiting to see what kind of fee United might be willing to accept from Napoli and then go, OK, here it is?
Well, if you look at Chelsea, they are very active and they seek opportunities in the transfer window. And if the opportunity is there to sign a player like Garnacho, who's got incredible upside and potential, I think Chelsea will look to capitalise on that opportunity. It's the price tag, right? It's a lot of money. If you look at Chelsea's model in recent windows, there's not that much outlay on players like that. But I think we all agree he's such a talented boy. But Chelsea have got options in those areas. He's not a guaranteed starter. If you think on the left-hand side, you've got Jadon Sancho. Pedro Neto's been playing in that position as well, even though his more favoured position's on the right. You think about, obviously, Mudrik's going through his own issues, but Chelsea have got that Esteval comes in the summer, very, very talented.